Hey everyone, and welcome to our journey into the spooky world of Philippine folklore. The Philippines isn't just about beautiful beaches and delicious food, it also has a ton of amazing stories about mythical creatures and scary beings. These stories have been told for generations and give us a look into what Filipinos believe in, what scares them, and the values they hold dear. Today we're diving deep into the world of the deadliest monsters that have haunted the Philippines for centuries. We're talking about everything from creatures that can change their shape to spirits out for revenge. We'll learn where they come from, what terrifying powers they have, and how they've affected Filipino culture. Get ready to be amazed and terrified as we explore the dark side of Philippine mythology. But remember, these aren't just stories to scare kids. They help us understand how Filipinos see the world and how important it is to respect the unseen forces around us. So come on, let's start this exciting adventure together. Our first creature hides in the shadows. It's a shapeshifter that embodies the darkness within Philippine folklore, the Aswang. Unlike vampires from Western stories, the Aswang is uniquely terrifying. It can change its form to look like your neighbor, your friend, even someone you love before revealing its true monstrous self. Imagine walking down a dark street. The only sound is the rustling of leaves. You see a familiar face, a friendly dog, and just as quickly as you see it, it's gone. Replaced by a horrifying creature with glowing, hungry eyes. The Aswang craves human flesh, and it especially likes to prey on pregnant women and unsuspecting children. It's drawn to the scent of life, to the promise of a gruesome meal. Across the Philippines, stories about the Aswang are different. Some say it likes to take the form of a bat, its leathery wings carrying it silently through the night. Others say it becomes a wild boar, its tusks bared, ready to attack. But one thing remains the same. The Aswang is a creature to be feared, a reminder that evil can hide in plain sight, disguised as something familiar. People try to protect themselves from the Aswang with a mix of practical things and superstitions. Garlic, salt, and prayer are said to keep it away, while the bravest people use whips and blades to defend their communities from this nighttime predator. The Aswang is more than just a monster, it represents our deepest fears, reminding us that we are all vulnerable. It's a story told over and over, a warning passed down through generations, a chilling reminder that darkness can lurk even in the most familiar places. Remember this: when you're walking alone at night, listen to the sounds around you, and be careful of people who seem a little too friendly because the Aswang might be closer than you think. From the shadows we fly into the night sky where our next monster takes flight, the Manananggal. This creature is as captivating as it is terrifying. Imagine a beautiful woman, so beautiful she could take your breath away, but this beauty hides a horrifying secret. When night falls, the Manananggal undergoes a gruesome transformation. With a sickening crack, her body splits in two at the waist, bat-like wings sprout from her back, and she flies into the night sky, driven by an insatiable hunger. The Manananggal doesn't crave flesh, but blood, specifically the blood of unsuspecting victims, often those sleeping peacefully in their homes. Using her long tongue, sharp as a razor, she drains her victims of their life essence, leaving behind nothing but pale, lifeless bodies. The sound of flapping wings, the scratching of claws on rooftops, these are the signs that the Manananggal is near. And once she sets her sights on a victim, escape is almost impossible. But the Manananggal has a weakness: sunlight. As the first rays of dawn break, she must return to her human form, vulnerable and exposed. This is when she is weakest, her severed lower half hidden, waiting for her return. Legend has it that spreading salt, crushed garlic, or religious items on the exposed lower half will prevent the Manananggal from rejoining her body, destroying her for good. The Manananggal reminds us that looks can be deceiving, that beauty can hide a dark and sinister nature. She is a creature of duality, both alluring and terrifying, a symbol of the hidden dangers that lurk in the night. We leave the darkness of the night and head into the thick green forests of the Philippines where our next creature lives, the Tikbalang. This creature is huge and unsettlingly powerful, forever tied to the wild forests it calls home. Imagine a monstrous being with the upper body of a man, twisted and gnarled, with eyes that burn with an eerie intelligence. Its lower half belongs to a horse, powerful and imposing, capable of crushing a man with a single hoof. The Tikbalang is a creature of mischief and malice, known for confusing travelers, leading them astray with whispers on the wind, phantom trails, and illusions that play tricks on the mind. Lost in the wilderness, you might hear its eerie laughter echoing through the trees, a chilling reminder that it's nearby. The Tikbalang enjoys the fear and confusion of its victims, toying with them like a predator with its prey. Legend has it that the Tikbalang is incredibly strong and fast, making it nearly impossible to outrun or overpower. Those who encounter this creature often find themselves hopelessly lost, wandering aimlessly for days, their minds slowly unraveling under the weight of the Tikbalang's illusions. But even the Tikbalang has weaknesses. It is said that this creature is vulnerable to certain charms and amulets, objects filled with protective magic passed down through generations. The Tikbalang reminds us that nature holds its own dangers, that venturing into the unknown can have unforeseen consequences. It is a creature of the wild, a symbol of the untamed forces that reside within us all. From the forest floor we climb to the towering heights of ancient trees where our next creature lives, the Capri. This giant is shrouded in smoke and mystery, forever bound to the trees it calls home. Imagine a being of immense size, taller than even the tallest trees, its eyes glowing like embers in the night. Its skin is rough and bark-like, camouflaging it perfectly against the tree trunks. In its hand it clutches a large cigar, the strong smoke swirling around its head, a constant reminder that it's there. The Capri is often described as a solitary creature, preferring the company of the trees and the creatures of the night. It is said to be generally peaceful, choosing to observe the world from its high perch. However, if someone trespasses on its territory or disrespects its domain, the Capri will not hesitate to unleash its wrath. Those who have encountered the Capri speak of a deep, booming voice that seems to shake the very ground beneath their feet. Others describe a feeling of unease, a sudden chill that runs down their spines as if they are being watched by unseen eyes. Legend has it that the Capri can become invisible, disappearing and reappearing at will. It is also said to love tobacco, and offerings of cigars are thought to appease this gentle giant. The Capri reminds us that even in the most familiar of places there are forces beyond our understanding, beings that exist just beyond our perception. It is a creature of the natural world, a symbol of the power and mystery that reside within the ancient trees. We climb down from the treetops and back into the darkness where our final creature awaits, the Tiyanak. This creature preys on our deepest vulnerabilities, our compassion, our instinct to protect the innocent. Imagine walking alone at night, the only sound is the chirping of crickets. Then you hear it, the faint cry of a baby, seemingly abandoned, helpless. Your heart aches with pity, your instincts urging you to help. But be warned, for this is the Tiyanak's trap. This creature, disguised as a harmless baby, lures unsuspecting victims with its cries of distress. Its eyes, however, betray its true nature, glowing red with malice, filled with a hunger that chills the soul. As you reach down to pick up the crying child, the Tiyanak reveals its true form. Its skin becomes wrinkled and gray, its teeth sharpen into fangs, and its cries transform into a guttural growl that makes your blood run cold. The Tiyanak feeds on the life force of its victims, draining them of their energy until there's nothing left. It is a creature of pure evil, a twisted mockery of innocence, a reminder that even the most vulnerable among us can harbor darkness. To protect yourself from the Tiyanak, be careful of sounds in the night, especially the cries of a lone child. Carrying protective charms and saying prayers are believed to ward off its evil. The Tiyanak reminds us that looks can be deceiving, that evil can hide beneath the most innocent of facades. It is a creature of nightmares, a symbol of the dark side of humanity, a cautionary tale whispered in the dead of night. Thank you for joining us on this spooky adventure through Philippine folklore. We've explored the dark corners of Filipino mythology, uncovering the secrets and stories that have been passed down for generations. From the shape-shifting Aswang to the mournful Tiyanak, these creatures give us a look into the rich tapestry of Filipino culture and the beliefs that have shaped it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spine-tingling tales from around the world. We'll continue to delve into the realms of myth and legend, uncovering the creatures and stories that have captivated imaginations for centuries. Which monster scared you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And be sure to share your own encounters with the supernatural or stories you've heard from your own culture. Until next time, sleep tight, and don't let the monsters bite.